Now, Paul Lawrie and his European Ryder Cup teammates are still basking in the glory of last weekend's victory.
And Laurie's involvement's just another chapter in a long Scottish tradition with the Ryder Cup.
As Phil Goodlad now reports from Chicago, that tradition is about to get stronger.
There's nothing quite like it in sport, is there? First tee at the Ryder Cup, the colour and the vibrancy, well, pretty spectacular. And for over 85 years, that has been the case. For that time, though, there's been a Scottish dimension, a tradition running deep, and a tradition that, with the Ryder Cup coming to Gleneagles in just 2 years' time, is about to get even bigger.
We all know the history. A seed merchant called Samuel Ryder donated a small golden trophy after British and American golfers played the first recognised match at Gleneagles. 2 years after the first Ryder Cup, a man from Aberdeenshire lifted it, George Duncan, the first winning captain from Europe in 1929. Since then, a succession of Scottish players have lit up the biennial match. None more so than this man.
Ronnie Gallagher, Britain's youngest ever at 20, stays calm and hammers Lee Trevino.
Bernard Gallagher, 8 times a player, 3 times a Ryder Cup captain.
I get more nervous now watching players playing Ryder Cup. When you're young and playing in the matches themselves, you never get nervous. You're young, you're in control of your swing. I was much more nervous watching the players as a captain than I was playing.
Gallagher's greatest moment came in 1995, leading Europe to victory at Oak Hill. His worst, though, came a little closer to home. Muirfield in 1973 is the only time Scotland has hosted the Ryder Cup. Gallagher fell ill with food poisoning in a match the US won. But 40 years on, Muirfield is proud of its week in the Ryder Cup spotlight.
The American team, so full of distinguished, famous names, were going to come here, and would we give them a good game? And then, of course, you begin to see the names in the paper, on the television, etc., and realise what is happening. This being the first time in Scotland, that was a bit of pride, and we began to really look forward to it.
Pretty spectacular, isn't it? The architecture makes the Medina Clubhouse one of the most unique in world golf. Unique to the Medina course, at over 7,600 yards, it is a monster. And of course, with this being the Ryder Cup, well, we have a Scotsman to thank for that.
Well, if it weren't for Scots, we wouldn't have Medina. Tom Bendelow, the great and famous architect, was a great Scot. Came over in the early 1920s and designed our 2 courses, and then convinced the owners of the course that we should have a 3rd course, which is now our championship course number 3. And another great Scot, Tommy Armour, was our pro in the early 40s. You know, celebrities came from all over the country to play golf with Tommy Armour at Medina Country Club.
Medina now, of course, has even more Scottish history.
When you hear the noise of the Paul Lawrie boys, we'll be coming down the road.
Paul Lawrie's second Ryder Cup appearance was certainly memorable, the Aberdeen man playing a pivotal role in one of sport's greatest comebacks.
Go on, go on, go on, you little gem. Oh, I've never seen him so excited.
Feels pretty awesome. Proud of every person in the team, but pretty proud of myself to go out there and perform like that under the utmost pressure against a tough crowd. I don't think it's any better to come back from 10-6 down on American soil to win.
I just think Scottish golfers, they just like the Ryder Cup. They like that form of golf. They like to pit themselves against the Americans, the best players, and it's in our DNA, I think.
So in the end, the most fantastic day for Paul Lawrie and his European teammates, overturning such a big deficit to win back the Ryder Cup. They will now defend it at Gleneagles in 2 years' time, an event that strengthens Scotland's Ryder Cup traditions.